Hey, everybody, welcome to our very first paranormal chat with Black Hills Paranormal Investigations. I'm excited you're here. This is something new we're trying. This is a new journey for us. We're excited to have you guys with us on this journey. Today's episode, we're going to talk about us, the team, kind of how we joined the team, our favorite equipment, maybe some favorite stories, and go from there. It should be quite fun. So, in true fashion with BHPI, let's start with our elders. Mo.
Funny. Okay. My name is Maurice Miller. Most people know me as Mo. I'm the lead investigator of this gaggle that's called BHBI. And I have been doing this since 2007. What are you doing?
Nice. What? What do you mean?
It's freezing up.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
not on my side.
Not on my side
And no,
either.
yeah, it's not freezing up now.
Weird.
But yeah,
It
it
must have
is.
taken you. Listen, your computer's probably an elder too, so it's taking your computer a little while
No,
to catch up.
my computer's only a couple years old.
Oh, no.
So neener. But okay, so I've been in this business since 2007. And I was previously to that, I was on a different team, and our team leader did himself in. So obviously, BHBI called me because we knew each other, and that's how the rest is like this is history.
Nice. The next elder in line? That's
That would
terrible.
be Leanne.
I'm just kidding, Leanne.
I'm feeling very, very elderly today. Okay, so I'm Leanne Harlan. I joined the team in 2014 in October. So my very first investigations were the Adams house right off the bat. I was an honorary, shall I say, part of the team because I worked with Mo. And in working with Mo, he would come in and tell me about all of the investigations they were doing, and he would bring recordings in and let me listen. So I kind of got to be part of the team without being on the team.
Nice.
But there was an opening, and he asked if I wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah. So I joined in, and it's been an adventure ever since.
Nice. Awesome. Uh, so I love my story, joining BHPI. I've been with BHPI since April of 2022, I think. Um, and I had just gone on I believe it was a private investigation at the Adams house. And Nan and I were both there. And we went through the tour. I had a blast. It was so much fun. I was on cloud nine. It was midnight. I get in the car, and on the way home, I said, Nan, you don't understand. I need to be on this team. Like, I just need to be on this team. I love everything that they're doing. And 11 a.m. the next day, Mo called me and asked me to be on the team. And I was like, yes, please. So it was a pretty fun story. Yeah, it was good.
And who are you?
I guess you probably want to know who I am. Or do you want to know who I am?
Maybe we should keep it a mystery.
Yeah, right. Everybody, you already know. I'm Casey. I'm the tech guy. And yeah, whenever there's a problem, I fix it.
Exactly, and you help the elders out.
Yes.
I gotta help the elders. You can think of me as their
Exactly.
walker.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Very true.
Ah, boy.
That's me. So I am Leanne also. So I go by Nan, just so it's way less confusing. Um, I've been doing this also since 2022, a little bit later than when he started. The first time I actually did this, because he was working at the Adams as a tour guide and helping out with that. And then on one of his nights off, we actually went as guests. And so we were in one room and I was just like, this is cool, but interesting. And then at one point, Mo was like, Casey, come here. And then they just disappeared. So I'm like, come back. So that was cool. Um, and then a few months later, we were both invited to another Adams House investigation. So it was like the private one with the team only. And that was cool too. And it was funny though, because as an outsider, like when they're setting up, like all you see is cables and batteries and cases of stuff, and you're like, holy, like what is happening? But it was cool. And then a few months later, I guess there was another opening on the team, and I got the call from Mo. And I think for me, because I'm not a tech person and all the tech stuff like intimidating me, so I think I was like, well, let me give you a list of pros and cons of why I might not be good at this. And he was probably like, whoa,
Yes,
calm
you did
down.
because you're a list person.
Yes, I'm
Because
a list
yes.
person. So,
Yeah,
um,
list for the
yeah,
list. Yeah.
checklist for my.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I went with it, and it's been awesome ever since.
Nice. And
Heck
now
yeah.
the wee young grasshopper of the team.
This is true. I'm Zach Flora, the newest member of the team. I joined this year, 2025. I started working with Mo, kind of same as Leanne. Mo is kind of the one that sucks you into this stuff. He's like, "Hey, look at this. It's kind of cool," and he like eases you into it. He's like really easy with it, and then he starts showing you the crazy shit, and you're like, "Oh my, oh my, this is so cool." And then I got invited on an Adams investigation as kind of like a trial run, and it was just a private one with the team and Black Hills, or not Black Hills, excuse me, the Deadwood Historical Society. So that was really awesome to be a part of. And I remember sitting in the gift shop with Mo, and he pulls out these dowsing rods and he asks a question, and those things start moving. And I tell you what, the chills I got from that were like nothing else. And I knew from that point on, I was just hooked.
Nice. Yeah. It seems to be that we have this theme happening. Leanne joined at the Adams house, the two of us joined at the Adams house, and Zach joined
Zach
at the
joined
Adams
it.
house. There
Yeah.
seems to be this thing happening around Deadwood history in the Adams house. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely, I think, play a very important role in, especially my joining of the team.
Yeah.
Anything we can do with Deadwood
Well,
history is amazing.
Yeah.
but I think it's also because the Adams House lets us bring, guest investigators with us.
Hmm.
Whereas if we're going into, say, a private residence or some other business, they might not want us to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
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 That's cool. So I guess here's a question for everybody. Like, do you guys have like what's some equipment that we use that we can tell everybody about? And maybe like our favorite equipment or something, maybe some stories.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
I think the dowsing rods. I just kind of jump into this one because that definitely was the one thing that like set with me and really got me hooked into the BHPI was you guys being so wonderful at the Adams just to start with, and then yeah, we were sitting there watching you guys investigate, and I'm like, it's kind of like watching TV, and then we're sitting in there and Mo starts using the dowsing rods and asking questions, and I'm like, no way those things move on their own, no way. So I put them in my hand, and they're a struggle to get figured out at first, but once you get them figured out and you can hold them still, it's like nothing else getting responses on those. I mean, words and talking to you is definitely way better, but the dowsing rod is just something about the no electrical interference or anything. It's just a matter of something grabbing it, moving it, or not grabbing it, moving it. So that's probably my favorite equipment that we have, and they light up. So
Nice. And they light up. Ooh, shiny.
is
Yeah,
exactly
they're
right.
shiny.
What were you going to say, Mo?
No, that's what I was saying. Ours light up. They're shiny ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. Uh, I like the old school stuff. I'm a big fan of something a little bit tangible. Like one of my favorite things is just a small mag light flashlight. Because when you can get that thing set and you ask questions and that thing goes off to a yes or no question, it is one of the coolest things. And then you ask it to go off and it goes off. I mean, it's one of the coolest things uh, to happen. I mean, it's happened to us a few times and it's still surreal. I have to think about it and, you know, go through my head and try to figure out, okay, why is it going? Did anyone move on the floor? Did anyone touch the chair? You know what I mean? Those types of things, no matter where it's sitting. And so, but if it's on the floor and stationary and everybody's just kind of sitting there and not moving and it goes off, it's a little bit of a head scratcher. So I think that's my favorite.
I love it too. I love the flashlight. I love the rod. I have to say, I think the rods are my favorite just because I can just they always get a response. But the minute that I hold them, I can tell if there's something in the room or not because they immediately start moving, you know, and I'm not moving. But what I really like the most about those is when we're doing the Adams House investigations, and you know we get to have fellow investigators because we have everybody participate, and I love that I could use those and they're so easy. And people, like Zach said, you know, there's no way those aren't that you're not moving those. And you put those in people's hands and they hold on to them and we start asking questions on there. And these people are just holding them and they're getting responses when they're holding them. I love that about that. The flashlight I love too, but it's not, but like the people are holding these and they are experiencing what you're experiencing with them. And I love that too.
Yeah, I think it is way cool. The dowsing rods are way cool.
It's also really fun too to see how they almost like act so differently with different people.
Oh, for sure.
That's always a trip to watch.
Yeah. I'll just say because I was off, I had to take some time off from the team for a while, and you guys got some new equipment that I had not gotten to experience. But I'm telling you what, that dead belt, that's like number 2 on my list now. I love that, and I love it when our equipment works together. And you know, when you're asking a question and the rods move and answer and the dead bell is going off at the same time, you know, that was just cat's meow for me.
Yeah, I agree. That so weird when you're just sitting there in the dark and it's in the room a couple rooms away and nobody's there and all of a sudden you just hear ding. Yeah, it's kind of yeah. Go ahead, Mo.
Real quick, we got to preface this because we're talking about the Adams continuous, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good point.
BHPI does investigate other places throughout the year. We average like 10, 12 places a year. But everybody says about the Adams because the Adams, we've been there so many times, we can experiment and try different things and whatnot.
Yeah, that's good, Mo. Thank you. Yeah. We do investigate other places. Yeah.
Yes.
But you can also join on the Adams investigations during the month of October.
That's right. Yes, you can. Tickets on sale now.
Ding ding.
But we don't sell them.
No, we don't sell them.
Deadwood History does.
Yeah.
Yo.
No.
It's worth it though. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
I agree with Leanne on that dead bell as well. I remember when me and Casey were in the Adams and we heard it go off for the first time, and me and him both jaws to the floor, just looking at each other like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Did you hear that?" And we're just that was amazing. I love that too. The Adams House is really something special, I think, for us. You know.
Yeah, it's way cool. Agree. So agree. Yeah, that was fun. Mo, what's your favorite? What?
My favorite probably is the SLS cameras.
I do.
Because we have 2 now. 2. Count them, 2.
Yeah, we do.
And that in a plain old fashioned audio recorder.
Yeah.
Because it's really something when you get super clear EVPs.
Agreed.
You know, and nobody else is in the room with you or whatnot, and then you get something talking to you. That is the creme de la creme as far as I'm concerned. And with the SLS cameras, when you're shooting it into an empty room or into a hallway, and all of a sudden a figure pops up, you're like, you got to start scratching your head, like, why in the hell is it doing this?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on?
And those figures are always entertaining.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
always doing stuff, and you're just like, wow.
Uh-huh.
It's those are
Yeah,
super, super
they just
cool.
don't stand still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I do
I
have to
agree.
say, I just have to say, we call them slam EVPs. You know, we put our recorders out and we when we go places and we let them sit there for hours at a time, whatever. But he introduced me to slam EVPs, and that's just, you know, taking your recorder, turning it on, asking a few questions, turning it off, and then listening to it right away. He is the king of slam EVPs. I'm not joking. I don't care where we are. They talk, the spirits talk to Mo and they do it. I tried slam EVPs and I get, but he
Uh-huh.
does it. I'm not joking. 99% of the time he will have responses. And not
It's
only
funny.
just responses, but Mo. They will actually call him by name when they're talking to him. It's the coolest thing
But
ever.
no, it's funny that you bring that up because whatever's out there, obviously, it's there's a certain piece of equipment that they're they favor because I don't get the answers like you do on the dowsing rods at all.
Neither do
That's
I.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what it
think
is, but every
That's
time I use the dowsing rods, I, nothing. Not a
exactly
nothing. And then I give Leanne the same ones that I just had, and it's
right,
a night
Uh-huh.
and day difference. So I mean, all this
right.
equipment, it works differently with other people. It's very crazy.
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
is. It is. I love it.
And
I mean,
Nan,
I think one of my favorites is the paranormal music box.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
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 yep.
And I like that one because it's so straightforward. There's not I mean, there's still ways to, look for what like to debunk it, but it's emotion. Like it sends out a beam, something crosses the beam, it's going to make spooky music and light up. So I just like it for that straightforward sense. Um, I'm kind of liking the cat balls a little bit too, again, just because it's like one thing makes them do the thing. And
yeah.
so
Man,
especially, and I know
they're
like you could
crazy when they go off.
yeah. And especially like if you test it out and you're walking around and it's doing nothing and then no one's moving and then it starts lighting up, again, you have to really scratch your head. And
Right.
so that's what's fun about that. Um, but yeah, I think I would say those are my two favorite ones. I like the straightforward ones.
nice.
Yeah.
I think the music box is definitely a pain because I definitely walk past that thing several times on an investigation and it spooks me
Wait,
every time.
wait, I have to add this because this is really funny. So when we were going over evidence and we set
Oh,
out all of our cameras, I have to say each person on this team is really bad about being aware of where the camera is because when you're going through evidence, it is 90% of the time there is one of us that happen to stand right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Like every time. It doesn't matter. And then we're staring at everybody's butts.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
it happens every single time. And it's multiple times. Like you see, oh, well, there's Mo's butt. Oh, well, there's Zach. Oh my gosh, there I am. Great. Look at that. I was like, maybe I should not wear those pants next time in bed. They are not
yeah.
exactly.
You gotta let
My
us
butt
know
looks
which
big.
ones are really, making the structure look nice.
Well, one time I had um when the jeans that had all the bling on the back pockets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what was on our cameras
Oh
that
no.
wherever we were that time. And Mo was like,
Oh
what
yeah,
is all that
you and
shininess? At first we thought it
yeah,
was
you and
something
Deb.
cool. No, it's just
Yeah,
Leanne's butt.
yeah.
Every time. It's
Yep.
amazing. It is quite amazing. It's so funny.
And for the people that are listening to us, we do have fun. Obviously, we investigate. We're very serious, but there's times when we're cutting up and stuff too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
We
people have
got
to know that because everything they see on TV usually is very serious.
Hmm.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, for me, like I have to have humor in my world, you know what I mean? And so
Right.
finding those folks like this team, we mesh so good. And just finding those moments where we can, pick on each other and tease each
Hmm.
other, because I love you guys like family. So, it's
Yeah.
just
Right.
it's so
Yep.
awesome that we have that dynamic as a team that we can do that. Because if you can't have a little bit of fun, what's the point?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When you think about it too, like if you look at what we're doing, so if there truly are these ghosts there that are these used to be people, like how sick would you be of like for the 500th time, what is your name? Tell me your name. Like, so I'm sure
That's another thing.
having some other conversation around is maybe not so bad
Right,
from their point of view.
right. And it seems like we've got our strongest EVPs during times when we're, just sitting around BSing, like we're taking a
Hmm.
break and what,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
whatever's out there is like, what are you guys talking about? Who
Hmm.
Hmm.
wants to be a part?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're not actively seeking stuff out.
Right.
Yep.
yeah. Um, I love that. I I just want to share one of my favorite stories, like one of my favorite experiences that I've had on the team. Um, because I love hearing everybody's, and especially like Mo and Leanne been on the team for a long time, and they have some stories, that are awesome from other places that we didn't get to go. My favorite, of course, comes from the Adams house
Of course.
because we do it so much. But I remember we were doing a spirit box in the where were we at? We were in the parlor. No.
Parlor, that's where we
I,
normally do
I
it.
think we were in the
The
parlor,
city.
in the sitting room area, like kind of connecting between. We were kind of going in between. And I was sitting. So I think Mo, you were on the spirit box at this time.
Yeah, because I don't know where you're going with it, but the pass through that goes to the library,
Yeah.
it seems like there was somebody standing in there.
And that's the story I was going to tell
Yeah,
because so I was sitting behind Mo on the floor, staring into that room and was going through something. I asked a question, Mo responded, and all of a sudden, like, I couldn't believe it. Like, as I was looking in the hallway, I watched this as what I describe as like this white mist, kind of like just materializing and walking towards the opening towards me. And clear as day, 6 foot something, had a hat on. You could see a mustache, like, and I kind of tapped Mo on the shoulder as he was doing the thing, and I scared him a little bit, as one would do when you tap somebody who
right.
can't hear nothing. You're like, Mo, he's like, "Bah!" And I was like, Mo, look, do you see that? And Mo turns around, and sure enough, it was right there. I mean, it was
Yeah,
so crazy, clear as day. And then just in that same amount of time, it was gone. I've never experienced anything like that before, ever. So
I
that was
just
cool.
thought this it just crossed my mind. Leanne and I, not Miss Nan, but Leanne and I, we were. It was a place on 8th Street here in Rapid, right? And that's where we've got the picture of the shadow figure, right? Leanne didn't see that, but she would walk over to where that is when we were doing the walkthrough, and she wouldn't show up on the camera. It was really weird.
Weird. That's
What?
crazy.
So that was a weird place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
That was
wild.
weird.
it was really weird that because the lady of the house, she went into that closet area and she was barefoot and her feet turned gray like a dead person. It was really weird. Really,
That's
really weird.
wild.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was weird. And
Yeah,
and that I the one thing that I remember about that place is that the dark was black, black dark.
Wow.
Like it was just weird because I've never been, there's always some light of some sort that, kind of just, you know, you can see something. It was just so black dark.
yeah,
And Mo was right beside me and I couldn't even see him. It was that dark to
right.
me. I don't
Wow.
know if it was but for me, when I turned around, I was like, it was weird. It was a weird spot.
That's
Cool.
crazy. That's also really cool.
I
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Zach,
Yes.
you have a favorite story?
Um, probably, and this one's kind of calling myself out a little bit, but probably we were doing the Adams house, and I think we were up in um I can't the wife's room, I think, the one up kind of in the
Oh,
corner.
Mary's room?
Mary's room.
Yeah, that the stairwell comes down. We came down the stairwell too.
Hmm.
Right, right.
Okay,
The
yep,
front stairwell. Yeah.
yep.
So I remember when we were in that bedroom that it connects to. So would have been at Mr. Adams' room, correct?
No, that's the master bedroom,
Master.
the
The
one
master
that
bedroom.
marriage connects to.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was me, it was Casey, Mo, and myself inside that bedroom, and I remember something really heavy and like just not a good presence. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, but just something really heavy like was pushing me down, and I remember being like, "Hey, I've got to walk out of here." And I told Mo and Casey that, and I think Mo was doing a spirit box at the same time. And he was like, I think the first words out of it was like bitch or like pussy or something. But
Right.
it was wild. I remember it
He was
so
calling you
vividly.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, Casey, Mo, I'm like, I need to go in the other room. And thankfully, going in the other room was enough to get away from whatever it was. But yeah, it was so interesting. And then I guess on the flip side of that, we were doing an investigation. At another place up in Sturgis actually, and I was sitting and had the opposite feeling. It felt like something was like trying to lift me up and like pick me
Interesting.
up, and I didn't feel that like I need to get away from this type of feeling. It felt very like positive. So it's just interesting to see, being on a couple of few different investigations and having a real like that rough feeling and then a good feeling. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
it was
cool.
very
Right.
nice.
And you'll notice the longer that you do this, for like me and Casey and Leanne, we've done it for so long that we really don't get scared.
Mm-mm.
That something jumped out at you, like booga booga booga, like dressed up like Wolfman or the Mummy and stuff.
I do have to
But
say,
I think it's because we've done it for so long.
yeah, agreed. And I don't think that I get scared, but I get uneasy sometimes.
Yeah,
Right, right,
There's
100%.
there's kind of a difference of that uneasy feeling versus scared, right? There's
Right.
well, yeah.
because
It's like your cave, yeah, like because we all feel this, like when your caveman brain says run or get the hell out of there,
Mhm.
and we don't listen to that. We
yeah,
can't.
yeah. And
But
so it's
then
just and of course we're the team that something goes bump in the other room. We're the team that runs to it, because
Not away from it. Yeah,
you've seen those paranormal folks who something happens, a door shuts, and they're like,
Let's get out of
and
here.
they run
and,
out of there,
and
you
it's a
know.
demon.
Yeah, that's said.
Yeah.
But no,
yeah.
we're the ones that like. I think there was there's an investigation. We were doing a house. I think it must have been Rapid. I think it was Rapid, and it was Mo and I, Nan, and somebody else was upstairs, I think, if I'm remembering this right. But there was also a basement. Um,
Okay, yeah, I think I know which
and
one you're talking about.
yeah, and Mo and I were investigating in the kitchen towards the basement door, and we heard this really loud thud from the basement. And mind you, the
Right,
basement is, I'm talking yikes, right? Like it
right,
was one of those creepy, like damp, all brick. You know what I mean?
right,
Like that basement in that horror movie, and you walk down there, and it's like,
right.
you know what I mean? It was one of those basements, and so of course it goes bump, and all cares to the wind. Mo and I haul our asses down in the basement, almost fall down the stairs, and decapitate ourselves on the low ceiling just so we could see what that noise is. And I think I love doing that, running into the darkness.
I have to be careful now because I'm so tall. Because like when we're in the cave the other night, man, I still have a headache. I must have rung my bell 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
But I would agree, like I don't think I felt scared either. But I know I have felt like physically uncomfortable. Like I've been in a house where for I can't explain why, but like you get to a certain point in the house and like you just can't breathe. There's like this pressure on you.
Right,
And like I've always heard of that before, and I was like, you see that on the shows, and you're like, oh, they're just faking it. But until you actually experience it, it's like, oh gosh, like this is hard to breathe right now.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
and I think the one
And I
thing that
think,
probably scare me the
go
most,
ahead.
if we're in more of a like an abandoned place or something, is like the living that are like hiding out and trying to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Right.
that's more of an actual concern than.
Yeah. The living people that you run into are far scarier than any ghost or spook that you'll ever run into.
Mhm.
Because you
Yeah.
know what to expect from a spook or whatever you want to call it. You don't know what you're running into when you get in person.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Very true.
Leanne, do you have any favorite stories?
So I was there's just so many. But when you were talking about the basement, I we had a house that we went into, and Mo and I went down into the crawl space, and I think we were just doing the walkthrough at that point. And we went into that crawl space, and we were in there, and it was completely quiet, and all of a sudden you heard this noise, and it sounded like something fell and just splatted. And I like if you just took a slime ball, and if you dropped it, and you could imagine what that noise was, it just was like splat. And
Where
Ugh.
was that? That was in town somewhere.
it was in Rapid, but I
Right.
can't remember exactly which location because we've been to so many, but it was the
Was
weirdest
it
thing. We
that house?
turned around, and there was
Was it
this.
the house? What one sec? Was it the house where they found the finger under the driveway?
No,
No.
no, it wasn't that. It was the it was the one. I don't even know if we ended up going, because you and I did the walkthrough, and then you didn't go, just the girls went. It was Kaylee and Deb and I went back and
That's
actually
right.
investigated, and
That's
we
right.
went down there. But it was the weirdest thing. I don't, there was nothing. We were underneath the kitchen area. So, and there was nothing that, there was actually plastic underneath
Mhm.
the
Yes, there's
floor,
plastic on the
Yeah.
floor.
but there was this blob of stuff that was in there, and it was in two different places, and it was
Gross.
the weirdest thing. I've never had
Gross.
anything like that.
Wow.
But it was so funny because we heard this, and it was a weird ooshy noise. I don't even know how to describe it. And Mo and I
It
both
was
were
like a
going,
splat.
what was that? And then we saw this blob. We're like, okay, I think we're, and then we saw it too, and we're like, I think we just need to go now. I don't know what that is, but we need to go. There was no animals in there. I don't know what it was. And I think we
I
even
should
tried to
have
touch
asked you
it.
to.
Didn't we
I
try
should
to
have
touch
asked you to
it?
taste it.
Yeah, we were both like touching it. I'm like, ah.
Gross.
Yeah,
Gross.
Icky.
yeah. But so that was just a funny one because when you're talking about basements, that just popped into my head. Um, but we've had just doing so many. Um, so I always say I'm as sensitive as a rock, and I really am. I don't have a sense of fear. I don't have a sense of really uneasiness most of the time. I don't. Very rarely. So if I have something like that, I'm gonna like be screaming and yelling because I'm gonna say, "Oh my God, I finally have that." But I kind of hang out. They, I just kind of do my thing. But my most favorite, and I don't know if Mo will say it's his favorite, was when he experienced an apparition when we were in the brothels in Deadwood, and that was like my favorite thing that ever happened because it happened to Mo, and
Right.
nothing ever scared Mo, nothing ever surprised him, nothing ever did anything, and this did, and so that told me that it was something monumental
Right.
because it took him uh, a while to get over what had happened at that point. And he can tell the story, but I witnessed it. So but it actually happened to him, but it was cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
And thanks to Leanne here, she thought I was having a heart attack because I fell backwards, and she was coming over to help me. Good for
Wow.
her.
Well,
No, but
yeah,
I
it
was in
was
the door.
it
I
was
was in the
bad.
doorway, and you know where your personal space gets invaded, right? We've all had that. Anyway, and it felt like my personal space was getting invaded, and I turned to the left, and there was a dude standing there. He was close enough he could have kissed me, and that shocked the living you know what out of me. So I went flailing backwards and shit.
And then,
Wow.
but in true Mo fashion, so that happened, and we're like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. He didn't even want to talk about it because it shook him so much. He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. We're like, no, there's something wrong. And I'm like, okay. And then he was just acting a little weird. So I was like, he does have heart issues, and I don't know. I mean, and finally he told us what it was, and he's like, I have to go outside. He had to go outside and collect himself, and then we came back in, but that was I wish I
Wow.
could have seen that guy. I wanted to see that guy.
Yeah, and that was when the film crew was here
Yeah.
because yeah, they wanted us to recreate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you do that again? And then
Right?
and then it was, well, not only could you just do it again, but could you add a little bit extra to it? Could
Oh my
you
gosh.
say it was something else? That's when we knew that being on TV probably wasn't going to be for us because we
Yeah.
weren't willing to do all that garbage and
Yeah.
lie and make things up. We're like, that's not who we are. That's not what we
Yeah.
do. So no, no, we're not going to do that. But I'm telling you what, at the time, we spent another 4 hours there trying to
Yep.
recreate what they wanted to see.
Oh,
Yeah, it was crazy.
Huh. That's wild. Nan, do you have a favorite story?
I guess there's just been lots of like little moments that have been cool. I think probably one of the most like real ones for me, because of course, you get the equipment that does its thing, but you always have to take equipment with a grain of salt because it could be something else. It could be a malfunction, whatever. But we were in a house, as always. And there was me and another one of our team. We were in the basement. No one else was down the stairs with us, and we were sitting on the floor and we were just trying to communicate with whoever may or may not be there. We were in the dark, of course, but I was sitting facing the stairwell. So you could see if someone was coming down the stairs, it's dark, so you'd see a flashlight coming down. And if there was like older wooden stairs too, so it's like creak, 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 so we would know if somebody else came in there. So it was the two of us. And then something hit me on my shoulder, like a physical hit me on my shoulder. And I was like, okay, all right. And then, so we kept on, and like it was one of those things, like it shook me, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. And then a few minutes later, the medium that we had on the team before, she came down just to like, how's everything going? And she's like, just letting you know, there's someone standing behind you. And I was
No.
like, that happened. So that was really cool, just
Cool.
to feel like
Yeah.
physically feel that, and then to get that validation from her picking up on that.
Yeah.
So
That's
probably one of my
cool.
favorites.
One of my favorite things that happened to me, uh, so we were at the brothel. We were doing an investigation at the brothel, and we were in the 1920s room, right? The bed that you can lay on. So we were
Right.
I think there was a group of people, I think, must have been. And I laid on the bed,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't, and somebody had the SLS camera,
Yeah,
and somebody says, somebody with us. And right on the SLS camera, somebody said that a figure popped up laying right on top of me.
I remember
And they
that.
got a picture of it. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, all right.
That was awesome.
That's cool. That was cool to see.
And we're gonna hope it was female.
Who knows?
Who
It'd be
knows?
kind of creepy if it wasn't.
Who knows? Who knows?
It
Crazy.
was I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, it was way funny. So funny. Mo, I remember you telling me, do you have a favorite story?
Do
You,
I?
yeah, you've told me a few of them.
Oh my gosh, I've done so many of these things.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's the one that stands out to you the most?
it probably is that shadow figure we caught.
That's
Uh,
cool.
that was, and that's on the Facebook page. Obviously, if you go into the photos, you can see it. We took a picture of it. Uh, but come to find out, that was an old boy. He came through Rapid City before Rapid City was a town, right? And he went, him and his wife and their kids went to bed, and then he woke up the next day and there was no wife, and he went looking for her. Anyway, and the Indians got a hold of him and killed him. And he was presenting himself as a black figure because he didn't know where to go, what to do, or anything.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
didn't even know he was dead.
Yeah. That's
And thank
crazy
goodness
cool.
Danny, that psychic that was on the team, she actually was able to talk to and convince this guy that, hey, you got to go towards the light and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's where he went, and nothing ever since.
That's cool. I love that.
That was cool.
That is one of the coolest pictures I think I've ever seen. Another picture was kind of cool. This was another picture at Adam's house. This is what actually some of the patrons who came on the investigation took. There were two
Oh yeah,
ladies.
because you and I tried to recreate it.
Yeah, we tried for I think like an
Yeah,
hour to recreate it. And the
yeah,
two ladies were standing on the grass out in front of the Adams
right.
house, taking a picture towards the house. And in the picture, you can see there's a little balcony above the front porch there that nobody is ever allowed to go on, right? That's just what it is because it's a museum. And sure enough, in the picture, you zoom into the picture and you see a man and a child standing on that balcony. Like clear as day, you can see the face. I think actually that might be on our Facebook page
I think it is.
as well.
You know
Maybe it is.
that you
Is it?
mentioned that I
I know
could
it's somewhere. I just saw it recently,
Yeah,
if
because
I
I saw it
wanted
recently
to,
too.
being at the Adams house, I don't think I could get on that balcony. I don't know where it's at.
right?
Well, it's at the end of the hallway, but you can't
It's like
get
closed
there
off.
anymore
Yeah,
unless you
Yeah.
open the window and climb out.
yeah, and I think
It's
that
almost
window
like a
is
Okay.
doorway.
permanently shut. So you like can't get out there. And so that was really kind of wild that we thought, oh, maybe it was a reflection of something or a flare in the light. And we tried to stand in the light and did all this stuff to try to debunk it. And we could not recreate that picture at all because every single picture that was taken after that in the same spot, there was nothing on
Yeah,
the balcony,
Nope,
nothing there. So that was also a really cool picture.
it is.
Yeah, really cool.
I like in the we have the Ovilus, and so we've used that to have conversations. Um and we were at a house up in Lead, and I apologize because I cannot remember but the wife's name was an odd name, like, and I don't mean odd, but it wasn't an ordinary name that, like, it wasn't like Alice. It was like Cora or something like that. And we were having conversations with whoever was there, and on the Ovilus this name came up, and the owner of the house, he said, "Oh, well, that was his wife." And we're like, I mean, it's not a name that would ever just happen to pop up. It just was. And so, that you can't make that stuff up. I mean, that just came out, and we'd never heard, used to pull obvious out all the time because that was one of our favorite things at the time, and had never, a lot of the words come up the same, fire, blah, 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 whatever. But
right.
this name came up, and that you just,
Yeah, that's
uh,
crazy cool.
it is,
We were
it was
yeah,
awesome.
we were at it was me, Mark Chadley, and Danny Joe. We were investigating a very small house in Leeds, right? And we went down to the basement because we had heard something. And then when we were down there, something was running across on the main floor, right? And I was like, "Hey, Mark, did you hear that?" And I point up, and the damn obelisk is on the windowsill, and it says "finger raised."
Wow.
So something was watching us.
Wow.
Yep. So that's
That's
That was
another
crazy.
crazy.
cool thing that to use the Ovilus. It was very
Yeah.
very accurate
Yeah.
when it's spitting stuff out when it wants
Well,
to.
it's like, yeah, it's like when we did the stuff in the cave the last time, right? We were doing a spirit box and we thought we were going to hear nothing in the cave. And voices were coming to right and left.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because I mean, you're really far down there and there should be no
Right.
signal. Like there should be none
No, there shouldn't be anything.
because
Yeah.
there's no cell phone signal down there,
Yeah.
Right.
So that's quite interesting.
Yeah,
It,
the cave was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Because you
Really,
guys came and checked it out, didn't you?
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that cave was cool. And the way we had it set up too. I thought that was pretty cool too. It just looked cool too.
yeah, that's cool.
you, I think you're mistaken the mind.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah,
That's
the
okay.
mine.
Or are you talking about Broken Boot?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Oh
talking
yeah,
about Moose.
okay.
sorry. That's
Yeah,
my
we were
bad.
That's
no,
okay.
that's
That's
good.
okay.
No, Broken
It's
Boot
a
was
hole in the
really
ground.
cool. I actually have a cool
Yep.
story from Broken Boot. Mo and I were investigating in there. So when you go in Broken Boot, there's that little offshoot that goes to the right hand side, that little tunnel,
That
right? I don't
that
remember
connects
what
to the exit.
no, because you can't go any further. Like you can't go further down. Like it's a dead end. Mo, do you know
Right.
what I'm talking
Yep.
about?
Yep. It's just that little nook.
Yeah. And so Mo and I were in there and we I think we were doing an EVP session and just sitting there, it's dead quiet. You can't hear anything. Like you can barely like hear your own voice, right? And Mo asked the question, and here's Mo's magic with the freaking EVPs, because I'm sure I wouldn't have caught it.
Yep.
Uh, we caught what sounded like a hammer on the rocks,
Oh.
Yes.
and we didn't hear it in real time, like it was not there. Like because we asked the question and we heard nothing, but on the EVP we caught ting 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 like or
Yeah.
something like that on the rocks. And that was it. That was really cool from the mine. That was way neat.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And we have um residences that we go to and we have businesses that we go to and we have public places just that we just go to. And I know we always like to make sure to tell people, we can't make things happen on demand as much as we would like to. When we go
Yeah.
someplace, we would like you to show up and just do your thing so we can figure out what you are, who you are, whatever. Um, and I know that sometimes we just don't get anything, and it's just
Yeah.
it just is. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that that people are crazy and that they really things are happening and they're it just means that they're just not participating that day.
Yeah.
But I think that I I would a majority of the time we get something everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it may not be the biggest thing and it may not be last for hours and hours, but we always get something. And that's always important for me so that we can, that when people call us in and they are experiencing things that we can, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
Validate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're, what they're experiencing. And so I've always said, I want to be able to let people know they're not crazy,
Yeah.
and when we go in, go, yeah, we can hear something. Yeah, and sometimes we can go in and go, you know what, that really is just the furnace. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but it's really just the furnace.
Yeah.
But and then that's good too, because then people go, oh, okay, then they're relieved that, okay, then it's not me and it's just the furnace. And then they're comfortable with that too. But
Yeah.
I just love what we do because we do have a good time, but we get to help people along the way, and
Yeah.
we get to experience stuff that you just I mean, head scratching
Yeah.
is definitely
And I mean,
it's I love it. It's
I do
just so much
too.
fun.
We're very, very lucky to be able to experience those things because some people don't and won't, you know what I mean? And it's cool. For me, it's way cool.
Yep, I
Yeah.
love it.
And but also along with what Leanne was saying, when you go into a business or a residence and nothing happens, let's say, you have to remember that those people are there 365 days a year, and we're there for 5 or 6 hours or whatever. A
Mhm.
very small snapshot in time where nothing might happen, and
Yeah.
then the next day, all hell might break loose.
Right.
Whereas it just didn't happen when we were there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, we've been on investigations where we were there for 7 hours and
Yep,
not one single thing happened in that entire 7 hours.
it's like
We
watching
don't,
paint dry in the dark.
yeah,
Mhm.
because we don't make things up. Like
Yes.
we just don't make things up. You know what I
No,
mean? And
no,
Right.
it's just, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, so
love
groovy.
it.
Groovy. Anybody else want to share any other stories? Anything else for our wonderful followers for this new cool series we're doing?
What this
I like
is
Freeways Zach the
years
location.
ago.
Oh, go ahead, Mo. Sorry,
In
Mo.
fact, no, it's okay. It was the very first investigation that I went on with BHBI. We were doing a house on the west side of Rapid. And our old, this is years ago, team leader, he was wound tighter than a cat's butt, right? And it was him, or no, Mark Sadley, him, and me. And I have Sony Handycam. And he knew the order that we walked in and everything, right? He turns around and sees me in the pitch black, and the guy jumped, farted, and he's crazy. Oh my god! Well, I was doing the same thing you did, Zach. Like, dude, what are you jumping at?
Yeah, what's wrong? Like I'm not even scared. What's your deal?
Right?
That's
Yeah.
so funny. That is so funny. Oh,
Yeah.
man, oh man.
Is
Well, good. We just want to thank everybody for watching this. This was way fun for us. We're going to do a lot more of these. So subscribe to our channel, hit the little bell to get notified whenever we post something.
Yeah,
And
and like
look,
us and all that stuff.
thumbs up, all these things.
Yeah,
If you give us thumbs down, that means awesome in the upside down. So, thank you guys so much for watching this. We've got some really cool ones coming at you. We're going to do one after the Adams House. We're going to talk about the Adams House a bit. We're going to do one. We're going to kind of discuss the spiritual side of the paranormal and try to
yep.
see if we can all kind of make some sense of it together as a group. So thanks for watching. We hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.